Hi dudes, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back to my series, Internet Analysis, where I like to research and discuss things relevant to social issues and media. Today we are going to be talking about MrBeast. Again, I have made a few videos about him over the years, and I am still fascinated to this day. MrBeast is an enigma. I have so many questions. Okay, hi. Literally as I filmed that, MrBeast posted a new video, 1,000 blind people see for the first time. And there's a lot to unpack. Originally, this whole script was very different, but honestly, because of that video and all the discourse around it, I couldn't post something about MrBeast right now without talking about it. So I've basically rewritten and re-edited this entire video. Cheers! MrBeast has become extremely popular in recent years. He is currently the most subscribed creator, aside from a few corporate channels, and has a reach of over 250 million across all of his channels. His content primarily involves expensive gimmicks, giving away money to strangers, challenges with massive prizes. It's like the spirit of Jackass, but younger and a bit more PG. There's lots of fast edits, sound effects, and screaming. MrBeast has said that his average viewer would be a boy who plays video games, so that makes sense. MrBeast has built his business by continuously spending more and more on each video. The giveaways are bigger, the stunts are wilder. The more he spends, the more views he gets, the more he can reinvest in the business. That is the MrBeast way. When people say nobody does it like MrBeast, that is true. And he wants to maintain that. He wants his videos to be bigger, crazier, and more expensive than anything or anyone else on social media. But perhaps nobody should be doing it like MrBeast. The waste, the extreme spending, and all-encompassing obsession with work. Maybe MrBeast doing all of this is too much. MrBeast is doing too much? You mean he's helping too many people, changing too many lives? Oh, of course, we've got to talk about Beast Philanthropy. So we will get into that in a moment. Later in this video, I'm going to talk more about his work ethic, his motivations, his content strategy, his big plans for the future. That's what the video was originally going to be about. But regardless, it is very important to know everything MrBeast does is meticulously planned and thought out by him and his team. He is extremely intentional, all by design. So just keep that in mind. But before we continue, this portion of today's video is sponsored by Love and Pies. That sounds very precious. Love and Pies is a cute, cozy Merge 2 mobile game, which is free to download on your phone or tablet. As you all know, I am a big mobile game fan. I play every day. I love having a little something to play when I've got a couple moments to spare. The storyline is basically Amelia Green moves to the countryside to work at her family's cafe. Your goal is to fix it up and make the cafe thrive. In the meantime, there's also drama. Amelia encounters family secrets, romance, and grudges. We love a mystery. So let me show you the gameplay. Basically, you merge pieces together to make different products to fill the cafe orders, and then you can use your coins to do renovations. Along the way, you meet new characters, compete in events and competitions, and new story content is released regularly. I think the illustration, design is very cute, and this is random, but I really like the sound effects, especially this pop. When I'm wearing headphones, it's weirdly satisfying. Anyway, this game is very relaxing to play, and it's so nice to see all the elements come together in your new cafe. You can download Love and Pies with my link below. Beast Philanthropy. After watching hours of his podcasts and interviews, I noticed MrBeast repeats the same talking points. Something he says all the time is that helping people is one of his main motivations. He essentially acts as the host of the MrBeast game show, giving lucky contestants the chance to compete for cash and prizes. He even created his own Squid Game in real life video. Many pointed out the irony of him, and other popular YouTubers to be fair, positioning themselves as the ringleader of the Squid Game, orchestrating a competition in which desperate people compete and fight to the death, while others watch it as entertainment. Of course, no one was harmed in his version, but the Squid Game show is so dark and has a lot of social commentary, and these videos were so gleeful. It just felt a little eerie and dystopian. However, it feels like any criticism of MrBeast is always drowned out by a million times more praise. MrBeast is a legend. MrBeast is the GOAT. And to the haters, MrBeast fans would argue, it's not that deep. It's just for fun, and all of these participants willingly play, and some people won some great prizes. The argument is always, this is a net positive for the participants or for society. MrBeast doesn't have to give all of his money away, but he chooses to. Sure. But this is not a gift. There are strings attached. Participating in a MrBeast video is a transaction. He wouldn't give all this stuff and money away for free without filming it. All of his videos help pay for the next one. And it's important to note, no matter how much he spends on a video, he's going to make all of that back and probably more. So let's not act like his contests and giveaways are purely selfless. MrBeast is making millions and his brand continues to increase in value. Plus, he gets the added bonus of lots of positive PR. He gets to be known as a philanthropist. In 2020, Jimmy started Beast Philanthropy, a separate channel and 501c3 charity. 100% of profits from ads, merch, and sponsorships on this channel go toward making the world a better place. Unlike his main channel that has more stunt and competition-focused giveaways, this channel focuses on acts of service. These are pretty much the classic staples of charity: donating food, school supplies, building homes, saving an orphanage. I don't know if MrBeast is religious, but I definitely get evangelical Christian mission kind of vibes from some of this, with some sprinklings of white saviorism. Now you may be wondering, what's wrong with missions or voluntourism? That would require a whole other video to get into, but here are some resources if you want to learn more. So finally, let's analyze the video in question. The thumbnail is MrBeast smiling with a hand on the shoulder of what looks like a young patient. The kid has a surprised expression and has tears photoshopped onto his face. By the way, MrBeast's thumbnail style is so uncanny and weird to me. I really can barely stand to look at them. The title is 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time, which is not entirely accurate. Really, it's more like helping 1,000 blind people see again by sponsoring cataract surgeries. But obviously, a title like that would not be as clickable. So he makes it a little more snappy and shocking.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness. It's gonna be crazy.
Classic hype MrBeast.
Most of us see the world like this. But here's the thing, 200 million people see the world like this. But I just made it one less.
Oh. Wow.
Basically, MrBeast worked with this organization, See International, that performs sight-restoring surgeries for people with conditions such as cataracts. MrBeast paid for 1,000 people to get the surgery in the US and abroad. Now, okay, before anyone asks, is it a good thing that these people were helped? Of course. And did I cry? Yeah, I cry at everything. But should the discussion end there? I don't think so. First of all, one of the wildest things I first noticed when this video went up and MrBeast was trending on Twitter, many of his supporters were comparing him to Jesus, God, a savior, a messiah. Some of these are jokes, obviously. But to be fair, he has kind of been stealing Jesus's brand. Jimmy, new image recommendation: grow your hair out. Keep rocking the sandals. But really, I do find this language fascinating. He's blessing people, or the implication that he cured blindness. MrBeast paid for surgeries, but he did not cure blindness. Now here's the thing, MrBeast himself may not have a savior complex, but many of his fans project that onto him, and he doesn't really push back. I feel like I'd be like, hey guys, don't call me Jesus. So anyway, let's look at his responses on Twitter. January 28th, the day this video was posted, we helped 1,000 people see, literally. Go watch the new video. Same day, the video is ranked #1, which means it's performing very well. Guess you guys like the new style. If you're a creator reading this, don't be afraid to take risks. Classic metric-focused MrBeast, right? As the video gained steam, criticism began rolling in. So let's break down all of these complaints. I think the #1 complaint, or negative response, is basically, this video is the epitome of those feel-good stories that are actually tragic. The fact that it took the charity of a millionaire YouTuber to restore 1,000 people's sight shows how badly our healthcare systems are failing. It is sickening that this 10-minute procedure is not available to everyone who needs it free of charge. We need free universal healthcare. Especially here in the US, where MrBeast and I are based, we really have no excuse. This is an extremely wealthy country. but the health insurance companies and other massive entities lobby against any attempts at a public universal healthcare system because that would ruin their business. Obviously, is this entire complaint lobbied directly at MrBeast? No, but people are just pointing out what his video is a reflection of or a symptom of. So complaint number 2, helping is good, but this video is still exploitative and charity corn. We are all happy that 1,000 people now have improved sight. That fact alone is undeniably a wonderful thing. And while these systemic failures are not MrBeast's fault, obviously, making content out of people's needs and desperation, that is textbook exploitation. I know, the word exploitation may seem a bit strong, but he is using these people to get views. Without featuring the people, hearing their stories, there really wouldn't be a video, right? So it's important to ask, what does the blind community think of MrBeast's video? Of course, they're not a monolith. I have seen tons of different opinions. Some blind folks enjoyed the video and don't have any problems with it. Others have raised some issues. So here's one perspective from With Hannah D on TikTok.
I think it's absolutely fantastic that MrBeast paid for 1,000 people's cataract surgery. But that's just it. He paid for a procedure. He did not cure blindness. There are hundreds of diseases, and blindness is a spectrum, but not every single one of them can be cured. What's upsetting is that people are talking about it as if he made some type of a revolutionary discovery that cures blindness as a whole, and that's just not the case. But this is the part of the video where I really had a problem. In the video, he says this: patients going into surgery have a chance of getting their life back. Just because someone is blind does not mean that their life is any less fulfilling than the next person's. That statement that we could get our lives back perpetuates the stereotype that we're incapable. And while he didn't outright say that, it's the implication of that statement that matters. I feel like this could have been a wonderful opportunity to educate 132 million people rather than reinforce stereotypes for 132 million people, but that's just me.
MrBeast's strategies with these giveaways has always been, the more he gives, the more he will make back. And this is nothing new for Jimmy. He's been doing it since he got his first big brand deal in 2017. It was for $10,000, and he gave it all away to a homeless man, in a video, of course. He's been very clear in interviews and podcasts, giving away money is a huge part of his growth strategy, especially back then. But on the Beast Philanthropy site, they kind of rewrite history a little bit. It says, when Jimmy Donaldson received his first sponsorship of $10,000, he wondered, how can I transform this money into something good? Not wanting to keep the money for himself, Jimmy agreed to the sponsorship deal with one condition. He was able to give away all the money. The sponsor agreed. Again, I'm sure he was happy to help that man, but he didn't just want to transform the money into something good by simply giving it away. He gave it away for a video.
Well, we can start off by driving you. Where do you want to go? I mean, 'cause my car's right there.
You're all good, man. I got my tent back in the woods. Yeah, you're fine.
Can you mind if we just see it, or I mean, just to give them a little bit more idea of how you live and stuff.
I mean, I don't got it. Do you have to?
No, we don't have to. No, we don't. I don't want to overstep.
No, it's just I don't know, man. Some shit's just embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, I do want to take you somewhere. Like, do you want to go get some food or anything? I'm a YouTuber. I'm going around giving random people who need $1,000. Most people get mad and say this is a bad way to get views. Tell them, like, you're okay with this. Are you okay with it?
Hell yeah.
That's right, YouTube.
Best day of my life right here.
Homeless people don't care if I use them for views.
MrBeast has been commodifying charity. Donations or charity should, in theory, be about giving, right? You shouldn't really benefit from it, aside from maybe feeling good. But MrBeast is literally profiting from it, aside from his philanthropy channel at least. And all of this helps his brand grow, which also enriches him. And some people might say, no, he's giving away every cent he makes. No, he's not. He's obviously not. The math wouldn't math. And I'm sure even after all of his expenses, there's money left over. Whatever. Anyway, aside from MrBeast's benefit, I strongly believe that people deserve dignity. They shouldn't have to have a camera in their face while they're experiencing an emotional surgery, for example. I'm just not a fan of exploiting people's desperation and hardships so that you can capture a little emotional moment in your viral video. And frankly, I think filming your good deeds in general is tacky. Anyone who does this, not just MrBeast, plenty of people do it on YouTube, tacky. Saying you donated or promoting an organization or a cause you believe in is very different from making an entire monetized, potentially sponsored video about it. I know this video is not sponsored, but some of his other giveaways have been. But always, his fans will say, no, he has to film it. That's how he makes the money to give it away. No, MrBeast makes plenty of money from all of his other non-charity videos, plus his merch and his many other businesses. MrBeast's brand is currently valued at $500 million, and he's en route to potentially become YouTube's first billionaire. He could absolutely afford to do all of his charity off camera. But hey, if he still wanted to post some videos on the Beast Philanthropy channel to earn more money for the organization, that's fine. But I just have some suggestions. Number one, don't put orphans in your thumbnail for views. Number two, you could talk about the process, talk about why you're doing something. Feature you and your team working on a project, but the recipients of your charity shouldn't be forced or obligated to appear on camera. Or number three, maybe MrBeast could just make donations without filming it and give a shout out to a charity or an organization at the end of his main channel videos. Just a couple of ideas. I have a lot of criticisms of the nonprofit industrial complex. As I said, I do have my critiques of charity, but if MrBeast wants to continue doing this, I think those are some ways that he could do it that's a little less exploitative, a little less of using the people that he is helping. So going back to Twitter, I was trying to watch his responses to all of this. After there was all of this discourse about his video, the role of charity and systemic failures, 2 full days later, MrBeast tweets, "I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again." So then some of his supporters are using this and they're like, see, haters, MrBeast agrees that our government should fix healthcare. And I'm like, I think after all of those responses, all the mainstream media attention, MrBeast felt compelled to point out the obvious. It took him 2 days to say anything like that. It's not like he said that as soon as the video was coming out. And also just saying, why don't governments step in and help? That is barely a political statement. That's weak. But it's the second part of this tweet that sent me into a spiral. Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again. That is a complete 180 from implying anything like, we need a better healthcare system, maybe our taxes should cover this. The second part is basically saying, even if you're fiscally conservative, there's a good return on investment from more people working and paying taxes. The government should care and help people's health so they can keep working. Gotta keep people alive and well so that we can profit from their labor. Also, everyone deserves care regardless of their ability to work. Your ability to work should not affect your value as a human being or your value in society. I'm losing it. But sure, if we're gonna go with this fiscally conservative argument, you know what? A universal public healthcare system paid by taxes would actually be the most cost effective. We would actually save a lot of money. And while we're at it, you know what else would help people be more productive? Living wages. Parental leave, housing for all, eliminating poverty, just spitballing. MrBeast, I agree with you. Let's keep talking about this. Anyway, I do not assume that MrBeast is a secret leftist king. He seems pretty apolitical in his videos, and I think that is also a content strategy. I don't think he would risk being political, but it is very important to note MrBeast is one of the most influential figures online. If he wanted to, he could create a healthcare campaign with huge reach. On the other hand, it's kind of scary that in having such a massive platform, he could use his influence in any way he wants.
You can do whatever you want, and you can influence people how you want. It's just wild, you know, how much influence the top YouTube channels have. Like, for us, we have 100 million people that watch almost everything we put up. When has someone else ever had that kind of power without having to go through a network or anything? I just upload whatever I want. Crazy.
Does that ever worry you that you have that much influence on so many people?
No. I think we did Team Trees, we did Team C's.
I was surprised that he said no. Like, even me, with my level of influence here, I am very, very concerned. I'm constantly concerned about what I'm saying and what I'm promoting. So the fact that he's just like, no, I was like, oh my God. I would love to have that peace in my mind, but I do not. Anyway, in the middle of all these tweets about the curing blindness video, MrBeast suddenly polls his followers. Would you vote for me if I ran for president? Over 2 million people responded, and 70% said yes. Clearly, all the Jesus comparisons and you should run the country tweets may have gotten to his head. MrBeast has also jokingly asked if he should run Twitter, for example. This tweet was very reminiscent of Elon Musk's, where he's like, should I keep running Twitter? Should I step down? And the people are like, yeah. There's something so like needy about polling Twitter like that. Whatever. Obviously, this tweet is a joke, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a hint of truth in it. And by the way, right now, he's only 24. He's very young. Imagine where he might be in terms of power and influence by the time he's 35. If he gets enough support, why wouldn't he try? The rich guy turned presidential candidate pipeline is terrifying. I'm rich. I'm good at handling business and money. Let me run this country like a company. Just because they're a household name or claim to have success or expertise does not mean that they are at all qualified to run a country. We do not need any more billionaires or aspiring billionaires running for president. Honestly, I think that should disqualify you. All that being said, the cult of personality around MrBeast is a bit scary. His fans will fiercely defend him against the quote-unquote haters. Since MrBeast does so much good, it's hard to criticize anything that he does. Jimmy can do no wrong because he's donated so much, he gives so much. It's basically his hall pass to get out of anything. But it's not just his fans that think this way. Jimmy himself thinks that a lot of this criticism is unfair. In one of the podcast episodes I listened to, I can't remember which, MrBeast basically complained about how he's covered in the mainstream media. He basically said, I could donate tons of money and they would still give me negative press. Though honestly, I think the vast majority of mainstream coverage I've ever seen about him has been very positive, so I don't know what he's talking about. But also, he's the biggest YouTuber. It would be insane if no one were allowed to question him or his work. Ever. Then he tweeted this the other day. Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me. Okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all my money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. Yeah, MrBeast, all of Twitter was calling you bad. There was probably one even slightly negative response for every 1,000 tweets of fawning praise. And also, every critical post that I came across agreed, first of all, that helping those 1,000 people was a good thing, but they were just trying to have a nuanced discussion about charity or these sorts of videos. But no, that equals MrBeast bad. Not bowing down to MrBeast, calling him the GOAT, calling him Jesus is bad. Okay. I can understand the youngest parts of his audience, the like literal children, maybe not being super critical and seeing things from a very black and white perspective. He donated, that's good. End of story. But I have seen so many grown-ass adults all over Twitter fighting any criticism on his behalf. Some of you are riding for him so hard, it's like you think you're gonna win a free Tesla. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind, like reading these responses. Because I don't think my take is that crazy, but apparently it is, and I'm horrible. His defenders often say something like, he could just be buying mansions with his money, but instead he gives away millions. Can't you sad losers just appreciate how much he helps? And okay, sure, this video may be a net positive result, meaning the upsides of these 1,000 people getting their surgery is worth it compared to any potential downsides. But this video is also a net profit for MrBeast. It helps others and it is self-serving. Two things can be true at once. Everything is calculated. If there's one thing Sheridan and I learned from listening to hours of his podcast interviews, it's that everything MrBeast does is calculated. This video, this charitable act, is just a minor piece of the entire MrBeast puzzle. For example, even in this sight surgery video, he starts giving away money. You might think, oh, that's just another nice thing to do. Sure, for those people, that's very nice. But it is also content strategy. Every few minutes, another prize is given or teased. In case the viewer gets bored of the main heartwarming content, here's a bit of excitement. MrBeast pops in like clockwork with another briefcase of money, 10,000, 50,000, and at the end, a Tesla. Because of course, that is a surefire way for him to maintain viewer retention through the entire 8-minute video. And this strategy is applied to all of his content. Keep up the pace and the ante with more jump cuts, more prizes. I'm sure if there's anything MrBeast has learned from all these videos he's made, he knows his audience's desire for exposure and prizes. He can make people do the most ridiculous things like stand in a circle for days days on end. He recognizes that most Americans will do just about anything for money. So speaking of another silly Twitter poll from Jimmy, he posted, if someone offered you $10,000, but if you accept a random person in the world dies, would you do it? First of all, why would you even tweet that? And out of almost 2 million votes, 45% of people said yes.
So what do you learn about human nature from that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, this was like late at night when I threw that up too. I was just like, this will be a funny thing. I assumed it'd be 90% no and like 10% yes. A lot of the replies on the tweet were like, hell yeah, why not? And I was just not expecting that.
Was it disturbing to you, surprising to you?
A little bit, yeah. But obviously a lot of people were trolling, but I actually, when you read through those replies, I do think like 10% of them were like dead serious.
But I also cannot believe that this would actually be a surprising result to MrBeast because, again, most of your content is about just how far people will go for money. Come on. Okay, so now the rest of this video from here onward is most of the original that I planned to make before this video came out and threw everything off. If you want to hear more about MrBeast, his goals, his obsession with YouTube and work, the way that his mind functions, keep watching. It's basically an entirely different video. Honestly, I know that it might seem weird from now on, but I spent so much time researching and writing this. I don't want to just throw all of this work out. So if you're interested, keep watching. Let's get into part 2, the MrBeast machine. In podcasts and interviews, MrBeast often repeats his top priorities and goals for his brand. Number 1, to help people, as we just thoroughly discussed. And 2, to make the best videos. And here's my hot take. I don't think MrBeast makes the best videos on YouTube. Shock. I do think he believes it though. So let's examine that. Out of all the podcast episodes and interviews I listened to, nobody pushed back on this. Nobody really questions him. Do you actually believe you make the best videos on YouTube? Or even, how do you define the best video? What other sorts of videos do you think are great? I would love to hear his thoughts. I want to know blatantly, what are Jimmy's metrics for success? Is best measured by views? Viral equals good? Does spending more money equal a better video? Therefore, the most expensive videos with the most views are the best? Now, hey, I do agree that the scale of production is impressive. His videos are certainly very elaborate. It's pretty cool to see a YouTube channel doing things that we're used to only seeing in movies or on TV. And there are massive teams behind every single video. But again, high production value does not necessarily equal a great video. Of course, I do love many YouTubers who have high production values, like ContraPoints and PhilosophyTube. But their videos aren't great just because they spend more money on them. The costumes, set design, and soundtracks are definitely an added bonus, but the best part of the video is the writing. And I know this is an entirely different genre of videos. The audience is looking for something different. When you watch a MrBeast video, you don't close the tab expecting to walk away with more knowledge on a topic or even about Jimmy himself. It's just, to me, sensory overload. If you took out all the crazy edits, the sets, the extravagance, what you're left with is a bunch of mostly white 20-something dudes yelling and throwing around cash. It's like when you see clips of popular sitcoms when they take out the laugh track, and you realize that maybe the show wasn't so funny after all.
Where is the waitress? I'm starving. It's a buffet, man.
Anyway, if you want to hear more dissection of that best videos idea, watch the Letter 15's video on MrBeast and meritocracy. I've promoted this video many times, but I just have to continue. It is so good.
His videos have the humanity sucked out of them because it's not attention grabbing enough for the algorithm. MrBeast has deeply internalized his principles of virality.
Jimmy is obsessed with YouTube. He says it himself, and he has closely studied the algorithm for years.
Since I was 11 years old, almost every waking hour of the day, I'm thinking of YouTube in some form or capacity.
He's studied YouTube so much that he now has what he calls retention brain. He's constantly analyzing and viewing everything through the lens of what would best retain viewers, what can hold people's attention, what could go viral.
My retention brain, when you talk about something, I'm instantly like, what value are they going to get? How many of them are going to be interested? What percentage of people do I think will lose? And I'm like running all those calculations in the background, like bells are like, error, this is bad. I don't have to think. I can just watch a video and it just screams in my head like, this is what should change based on the million videos I've watched and all these viral videos I've consumed. Like anytime I watch a video or a movie or anything, I just can't stop thinking about what is optimal. It gives me a headache sometimes when I watch something too slow or I don't think is optimal. Obviously, my taste isn't the end all be all, but that's something that kind of torments me, if that makes any sense.
And this is so interesting. I check in on my YouTube analytics occasionally, but I don't try to get deep into the metrics, like seeing exactly where retention drops down and trying to figure out why. I probably should pay attention if I wanted to optimize my videos, but for me, I feel like that would end up taking away from my creativity. Whereas MrBeast seems to be the opposite. Rather than using analytics to see how a video performed after the fact, he is using those metrics to build the video. He's creating the video, making edits every 3 seconds or so, using this sound effect, including his friend's obnoxious screaming, because he knows it will help keep his viewers engaged and entertained. Aside from just making the best YouTube videos, MrBeast is also a worldwide brand, expanding into other ventures.
Do you know how many income sources you have?
Well, let's see. We have Beast Burger, Feastables. We have a company where we dub channels, which runs our MrBeast Espanol. And we have MrBeast, MrBeast Gaming, Beast Reacts. What else do we have going on?
Merch?
Yeah, merch as another one. It's kind of hard. I kind of forget the stuff we're doing.
MrBeast kind of promotes the idea that his brand expansion is also for the greater good. Somehow him selling merch or snacks or burgers is not for his gain, it's not for money. These businesses help him help more people, right? MrBeast even claimed that he started Beast Burger during the pandemic because he wanted to help restaurants. It's debatable whether or not ghost kitchens help or hurt independent restaurants overall. But aside from that, yeah, MrBeast claimed that he opened Beast Burger during the pandemic to help restaurants that were struggling due to COVID and lockdowns. But then his manager says they had been working on it for over a year. So that timeline doesn't add up. Again, there's nothing wrong with them wanting to open a restaurant or a ghost kitchen in general, but to retroactively frame it like they did it intentionally to help restaurants during COVID is just disingenuous. This seems to be a bit of a pattern in the way that MrBeast and his team frame him. Obviously, they're going to put things in the most flattering light. But the point he constantly makes is that all revenue, whether from videos, merch, products, that money helps him make more videos, which may be more or less true. So he's able to give that sweet, sweet entertainment back to his viewers. And more money for giveaways. So buy my shirt, watch my videos, give me a like, give me a comment, and we'll be able to do more giveaways. It's a win-win. Hey, we are all benefiting equally from this arrangement. It's like when a YouTuber buys a house and they're like, we did it. It's like, yeah, but only one of us has the keys. Regardless, MrBeast certainly does spend a lot on his brand and he wants everyone to know it. A few weeks ago, MrBeast said that he spends $8 million per month on his businesses. Just last September, MrBeast told Colin and Samir that he spent $4 million every month. Being the top YouTube creator is not enough. MrBeast wants to expand his empire into more and more products all around the world. This is his path to potentially become YouTube's first billionaire. From Forbes, Donaldson is the sole owner of his studio but is looking to sell a small stake. If he has his way, 10% could cost $150 million. A deal that rich would value the studio at $1.5 billion, making Donaldson the world's first billionaire YouTuber. Here's the thing, he says, I don't really care about the goal of being a billionaire. I'm just gonna keep making great stuff. And if I happen to become a billionaire through that, then so be it. I'm like, But not only does he want to be successful, he also still wants to be the most liked, the most popular, the beloved. He's not gonna be like other billionaires. But is his quest to be good and a billionaire even possible? No. Good billionaire or ethical billionaire is an oxymoron. MrBeast, the workaholic. You may be wondering, how is Jimmy possibly balancing all of these ventures? Well, it helps that he is literally, in his own words, obsessed with work. We are very used to seeing the hustle culture grind set promoted by many rich or aspiring rich people. This kind of content, mostly comprised of men, describes how they stay motivated and keep pushing. They're all about efficiency, productivity, biohacking. Work smarter, not harder. It's hyper-capitalist, rife with myths about masculinity and meritocracy. Interestingly, MrBeast does not seem materialistic in his personal life. Unlike other top-earning YouTubers, he doesn't really flex his wealth. Not directly, at least.
I just don't need a mansion to be happy. I don't need a supercar to be happy. I don't really need anything outside of this. You know, as long as I have a bed and a bathroom, I'm fine. Because of that, I don't have any liabilities outside of the company, so I can just reinvest it all. To me, money is just fuel to grow the business and help people, and not much else.
Anyway, I was very interested to hear more of Jimmy's thoughts on work and the grind. Work-life balance, the separation of ourselves, a la Severance, is a lie. But Jimmy really does have very little separation between his work and his personal life.
How do you stay focused?
For me, the problem I'm having right now is I struggle to wind down at night because I just work and I'll lay in bed and I'll think of ideas. I'm a little too focused right now, which is something I always have to correct myself.
Do you ever take days off?
Yeah, of course. So the way I like to work, and I don't recommend you guys try this, I just work every day, every hour of the day until I just burn out. So like usually around day 10, I'll wake up and I'm just like, it's too much. Like I can't keep doing these like 12, 15 hour days. And then I'll take like half a day or maybe a day depending on how severe it is. And I'll just chill and I'll just kind of like nuke my calendar. And then by the next day I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. And then I just do it again. And so it's weird, but that's what works really, really well for me.
For some hustle bros, their rhetoric seems like a facade to make them appear hardworking and intense. But for MrBeast, the extent of his focus sounds surreal and very, very unhealthy. Burnout is not something he tries to avoid, unlike other YouTubers. He just leans in. In the Forbes interview, he said, "What I do is just like a zombie. I get up and I obsess over it. I obsess over it until I fall asleep. I dream about it. I wake up and I do it again to a fault. Nothing outside my business gets any attention." It is just wild. Like the more I heard about this, I just still could not believe it. I can't imagine living or working that way. Clearly we are very different. Different brains, different motivations.
If I'm not creating, then I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I'm progressing. Then I feel like I'm wasting my time. And like, yeah, I just kind of feel like a waste of space, like a piece of shit if I'm not like making videos, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's interesting. I feel the exact same way.
I've worked to try to undo that part of my brain that calls me lazy. Cue my laziness does not exist video. And I absolutely work to live, not live to work. Which is a privilege for sure, but MrBeast obviously has that privilege as well. He could certainly work much less, but he really does not want to. He's really gamifying content creation. Optimizing and utilizing all the strategies he's learned over the years is a game. So when a video performs well and all those metrics are strong, he feels like he's winning. This ultimately is why he says work feels more like play. He doesn't have to force himself to work. If anything, he has to force himself to take breaks.
Bodybuilders will be like, just go to the gym, be disciplined. I'm disciplined, go to gym. But I would argue for those people, it's like, it's not even discipline. They just enjoy weightlifting. And then there's people like me who just, to an extreme level, love building companies, right? It's not even discipline for me. It's just in my blood. It's what I wake up. I don't think about it. I don't push myself. I don't need to watch a fucking motivational video to go work. I just do it. It's programmed in me at this point.
People definitely praise MrBeast for his work ethic, for his endless passion, but I don't think it's anything that anyone else could learn. This is just the way his brain works. He is hyper-focused on content, optimization, and growth. And while on one hand, this does work for him and his business model, it definitely isn't attainable for every single creator, and it should not be. Jimmy has created and risen to the top of this maximalist, action-packed genre of videos. His studio puts in way more time, energy, and money than really anything else on YouTube. For the rest of us, this level of grind would be impossible to achieve. It's obvious that Jimmy wants to make a legacy for himself. Unlike most other YouTubers who see this job as temporary or unstable, we'll do it as long as we have a decent audience. Jimmy is fully set on doing YouTube for the rest of his life. Lex Friedman asked what he would do if he had a month left to live. And I thought, Jimmy's so singularly obsessed with work, maybe he would have the classic realization of, oh, I worked too much. I didn't spend enough time with my loved ones. But listen.
If I only had 30 days to live, what would I do? And for me, I would try to make like a decade's worth of content and schedule upload it so they automatically go public in the future. And so it's just like I never died. I'm just there.
Despite being the biggest creator on YouTube, MrBeast has more in common and feels more aligned with startup dudes and CEOs than he does with fellow content creators. Nobody's on his level, nobody's dreaming as big. And frankly, at this point, no one can really catch up.
One thing I thought is, as I climbed this like ladder of YouTube and got bigger, I thought there would be tons of people like me. I thought there would be hundreds of me.
Yeah.
And
there isn't.
There isn't. Every step of the way, it's like, I just got more and more lonely, to be honest. There's just not many people that just want to give up everything, go all in, and obsess over making the greatest goddamn videos every single day of their life. Like, they're really hard to find.
Again, MrBeast's level of obsession and dedication is so extreme, I'm not surprised that there aren't many others who would feel the same. I assume when other YouTubers reach the ranks of tens or even hundreds of millions of subscribers, they want to relax a bit more, enjoy their riches. But MrBeast seems to want to ramp up his work exponentially. Many tech giants are taking notice of MrBeast and the massive audience/consumer base he's grown. If there's one thing they love, it's someone who loves data and knows how to exploit the attention economy to the fullest.
I'm coming more from the frame of mind of an entrepreneur, someone who's really obsessed with business building. For me and a lot of my friends and the people I hang around, what brings us happiness is winning and building companies and changing the world. Like, that is fun. It's a complex problem you can wake up every day, and it gives you something to obsess over and devote your life to.
Winning, building companies, and changing the world. I think MrBeast and his fans want him to be that hero. He already is on a small scale. Look at how much good he's done. If he were even more rich and powerful, that would only increase the amount of good he could do, right? No, I don't think so. However, let me be clear, MrBeast is not the problem, but he's not the solution either. MrBeast makes videos that millions of people enjoy. Kudos to him for that, okay? I genuinely do admire how passionate he is about YouTube. I'll admit, when I was watching all these hours and hours of podcasts, I was like, you know what? MrBeast seems like a regular guy, you know? He's just kind of a nerd about YouTube, which me too. I don't think we have similar mindsets on a lot of things, especially like work and money, but he doesn't come across as like evil in these podcasts, except the TMG one. But anyway, still, MrBeast is not a god. We should always leave room for criticism, especially when it comes to industry leaders and some of the highest earners in the world. No person with extreme levels of wealth is going to save us. I think we like to have that hope. We like to think that because someone has money, power, influence, maybe they even dabble in philanthropy, they might be our best hope at saving the world, making things better. But no, their quest to be richer or to protect their wealth will always be their priority. They will not dismantle the system that enriches them. If they wanted to dismantle the system, they wouldn't be a billionaire in the first place. Okay, well, this was a beast of a video. Pun intended, pun intended. I'm exhausted. And now I want to say a big thank you to my patrons. I have a Patreon where I make a bonus video every month. We do a monthly live stream. If you want more casual, personal content from me, that is where you can find it. And extra thank yous to my executive producer tier. We have Uwu Face, Abby Hayden, Eric Danielson, Freshly Laundered, Jackie King, Jill Hoffman, Julie Leva, Kristen Holloman, Matthew Gray, Megan Collins, Megcat33, Nicole Louise, Online DBT Skills, Sarah Kemi, I almost did it. Stevie May, Tom Walker Truffa, and VivianOladon.com. Thank you so very much for being patrons. And one last thank you to Love and Pies for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description to download the game if you are interested. That is all. Stay tuned for future internet analysis videos. Okay, thanks. Bye.